Guys, UnoPro here, back for another Songhai gameplay video. Now, is my most played deck at the moment, has been for about a month and a half, maybe 2 months. Coming back, most of you will know me as a Songhai main, so definitely really love the faction, lots of experience with it. I did play this one in the Snow Chaser Cup, the last one. On day one in the Swiss tournament, I went 5-0, so I was the only undefeated one at the end of the day. That was with unlimited sideboarding, but people weren't sideboarding too much in it. On the second day, I was versing a Kara deck, which I think is probably the worst matchup for this deck when sideboarding is allowed. I think that matchup gets really hard because Lantern Fox gets very unplayable. Songhai is really not great in sideboarding tournaments. So that one, I lost a really narrow 2-1. It was really close. So I definitely could have won. I definitely think this deck was very close. He needed, I had the out in the second game when I was already 1-up. He had to have Healing Mystic Emerald Rejuvenated into a buffed up Tiger, which he did have, so it was well played by my opponent, but definitely just don't think this deck just folds to Kara, and in practice games definitely did pretty well against some decent players. So I think this deck is very strong, definitely S rank viable, and actually one of the strongest decks in the game in my personal opinion, though definitely can be a little bit difficult. I feel like you really need to play well with this deck. It's not as simple as just curving out, and I think a lot of the times if you're an equal skill with your opponent, this deck can sometimes just lose unless you're really good with the deck. Anyway, enough about that, we'll get into some choices here. So it's pretty similar to the last list I posted, but a couple changes. I'm always tweaking around numbers, and I might even go over some choices, different stuff I've kind of run for different situations very quickly. So to Inner Focus. Inner Focus can be pretty good with Lantern Fox and Chakri Avatar. Also, in the Cassiva matchup, it's really nice to go Inner Focus plus Killing Edge with our Bloodborne spell. So get that 5-3 range with an attack. It's actually pretty good value then, even though it seems a little bit awkward using 2 cards. But it's basically 4 mana, deal 5 damage, and get a 5-3 with the range, which also dodges Cassiva's hero power and is very good against Abyssian generally. So definitely something really important for the Cassiva matchup, which is everywhere. And you can consider running 3. Definitely depends on just how you want to play. So 2 Blood Roach Mask and 2 Blood Tear Sling have been running for a while. Don't really like too many Blood Tears. I feel like it just empties out your hand too much, and a lot of times I'll draw it mid game and just never want to play it because it's just kind of a waste of a card a lot of time. 2 Saberspine Seal lets me be more aggressive in Cassiva matchup, which is very important. Ghost Lightning is not really great at the moment. That's kind of where else I'd be going with that spot there. Chakra Avatar, Healing Mystic, not much to go over there. 2 Killing Edge, still really liking it. Hard to hit, you're going to be replacing it more than most cards, but when it hits it's really good. Not a lot of Dispel running around, which is also really important, and all your Heartseekers get a lot of pressure. 3 Lantern Fox, 3 Bear, still pretty obvious. 2 Twin Strike, sometimes you get hands that are just too full that you'll overdraw, so 2 Twin Strike is pretty nice. And those games where you have really aggressive hands early, it lets you just kind of just not play a card essentially for a turn because it cycles, and then go back up a card. The Sworn Sister saying I'm still really liking. Definitely just seems a bit better than Heaven's Eclipse most of the time. It's really good tempo and actually lets you be proactive with minions sometimes. Nearly always at least one of the cards will be a spell or minion that you're already running in the deck, and then the other one is sometimes good, sometimes bad, but you just plan around having a replace. And very rarely have I ever gotten 2 bad cards out of this, so I really like it. 1 Heaven's Eclipse, still pretty nice, and then 2 Spiral Technique. I really like 2 Spiral Technique just because it's so lets me play really aggressive at times and hope to draw in a Spiral Technique when the game dictates that way. So I wanted to quickly go over this Cassiva list. Okay, so I think I ran this list. Okay, so no, this was a different one. This one was basically, I did run one against Kolos where I went really aggressive against his Cassiva because I knew he was taking really hard for me, so I took out Land Foxes and just put in like Tigers and stuff, putting more Blood Rage Mask, more Saber Spines. This was in the limited sideboard part, so the idea of the deck is a couple Mist Dragons to dodge around with Lantern Fox. And in my first game in the single elimination bracket, I actually played really safe with Lantern Fox the whole game and just waited till I had a Mist Dragon seal. So playing around Zenru is really important in tournaments, not so much on ladder, but definitely something you can keep in mind. You can definitely try Mist Dragon on ladder, but I'm not a massive fan of it, to be honest. But yeah, basically in general, the game plan for Cassiva, if you're attacking against it, is try and go a little bit more aggressive. Especially if you expect them to run Zenrui, you need a plan around Zenru. It may just be going up to 3 inner focuses and saving them for inner focus because it's not that bad then. It may just be trying to get them early and then being really disciplined and replacing them. I think that's something that's really, really important if you're going to be playing tournaments with Songhai, is just being really disciplined. Like, it's so easy to go, okay, maybe he doesn't have it, but it just loses you the game on the spot, and a lot of times you just don't want to risk that. And it's kind of an unfortunate, just part of the game at this point, where when there's a lot of sideboarding in tournaments, as Songhai and Liner with Holy Grovekeeper, you're really just fighting an uphill battle that you have a bit of a disadvantage, but the faction's still pretty strong, and I'm still having success with it, so I'm going to keep playing it. Now, I need to choose here between, obviously I'm keeping Fox and Four Winds Magi, because I never really get rid of those two. Both of these work quite well with the Fox, because Songhai is very rarely going to kill it. They might Bear Seal, which is killing Edge is still good. I guess what we can do is if you play Chakri, we inner focus, get rid of Killing Edge because it'll be a 2-2. And if he plays a 2-3, we get rid of inner focus because you don't really want to inner focus into a 2-3. So I think that will be the plan. I don't know how much Healing Mystic can be okay. I guess Healing Mystic makes... Maybe we keep it all. It's interesting. Okay, so if we go just Land Fox's turn, I guess we don't really need inner focus. Well, if we keep inner focus, so let's actually get more value out of our Healing Mystic, because the way we do it now is that we play Lantern Fox, so we attack, so we want to Killing Edge, we have to Healing Mystic first and lose the heal. This way we can inner focus, attack, heal it up, then Killing Edge. I kind of like that, because we get to inner focus in between, obviously, so I think this hand's fine to keep. I do like playing this safe, especially with Killing Edge in hand. Like, I mean, if he goes here, it's a bit annoying, but okay, he doesn't want to do that. Okay, I guess Saber Spine isn't great here. It doesn't really change things. We'll be going to get that anyway. So do we go Killing Edge, Phoenix Fire the Mogwai? I guess we do. We can't play all three. No. I guess we just go Killing Edge. Killing Edge is so good here. We could have thought about cashing it in, but then it's a 6-2. I don't think we really need to do that. 6-4 is fine. He's getting Bear Sealed anyway. Inner Focus can be better than another Phoenix Fire. I mean, Phoenix Fire is really good in the Songhai matchup a lot of the time, but I think there's so many cards in hand. Inner Focus is good because it means it's easier for us to empty our hand. So if we have Phoenix Fire here, it's the same thing as if we attacked. Except we have a Phoenix Fire instead. We kind of want to be in a position to empty our hand with this. Okay. I mean, so there's potential for smoke plays here. I queued up the wrong list. So yeah, there's potential we can smoke him. But do we need to? Guess we just forwards Magi. Yeah, let's just smoke him. I mean, not smoke him, sorry. Clear. Like, there's no need to. We have another forwards Magi in hand. We're so healthy. So yeah, I think I queued up the wrong list. I think Mr. Dragon is not in my main list, so I guess because I looked at the list, but it's fine. This game is, yeah, that was pretty crushing. No answer for Fox. He shouldn't have moved into the range of Fox on the first turn. Would have made things a lot more awkward for me, but I guess that was just a slight misplay. Rank's only 50 at the moment. I've been messing around with decks a lot, and like just having like a 60% win rate or something means you lose so many ranks, which is a little bit annoying. But that's fine. When I've been playing Reaver, I've been climbing heaps, and this season I've really been in the mindset, because the World Championship got announced, I've just been in the mindset of just be as good as I can. Because ranks don't matter this season. I just want to be the best player I can be. That means, you know, maybe scrimming more than ladder, trying out different decks so I'm a more well-rounded player, all these kind of things. Okay. I think I get rid of Blood Rage Mask. We really want to turn one play, and these two are both pretty good, especially with this hand. Blood Rage Mask is a bit greedy against aggro mag, especially if we're not ahead. Okay. Not the greatest hand because you don't have a turn 1 player, but apart from that, it's actually pretty solid. This is really important to have for Taigati, which I think is how you say the new Magma sister, which is just ridiculously strong and kind of wins the game unanswered all the time. And Inner Focus, Latin Fox is always pretty good. Inner Focus less important in this matchup for Latin Fox. No need to cycle Mana Vortex there. If you have a play the next turn, there's really no reason to ever do that. If you don't have a play, sometimes you can cycle a Mana Vortex, even though it's so good in this deck. Okay, we don't want 2 Saber Spine Seals. I think we still just Land Fox. I think I like Lantern Fox, Inner Focus, Saber Spine Seal, just because we need to empty our hand a tiny bit so we don't overdraw. Well, we need a spot open for our Lantern Fox. So if we do this, we'll go down to 4 cards, because you get the Phoenix Fire back and then draw 1 in hand, so we'll have 5 at the end of the turn. So you can kill it and then fill our hand up, but that's completely fine. I don't think there's really any merit to any other plays here. Yeah. I guess we need to think a little bit about positioning here. This is the spot that stands out to me the most. It means, well, there's 2 spots here and here. This means that he can't attack it and go to the mana tile, and this means that he can't go to the mana tile. So I guess that one's just better then. Yeah, unless he has double 2-drop. Nah, this is just better. Because I'm in here. Like you can just, if it's better not to attack. Like you don't give your opponent options, because then you assume they'll take the best one. If you do it here, he has no option but to attack and then not go to the mana tile, so. Maybe I get rid of a Phoenix Fire here. Maybe I keep it all. So our play is definitely going to be saying lines of Chakri, this, Mana Vortex, this. So we get to see 2 cards, double Phoenix Fire in hand. This works well against whatever he plays, plus the Pado. So I think that's completely fine. It's more about positioning here. It can be a little bit awkward. So I guess we do it here. Guess I just play the Chakra in his face. If he wants to Egg-morph it, that's completely fine by me. Yeah, and then our Heartseek is guaranteed safe. It does really suck. I would love to hit him in the face right now, but it might mean that our... Yeah, it's really awkward trying to defend our stuff. We could replace for an Inner Focus, but... I think I prefer this, just a bit more consistent. Replacing either of those makes a hand probably worse unless you're falling into Magma Inner Focus, and that's, you know, pretty low percentage of 1 replace. If he Egg-morphs here, then that's completely fine because it means it's taking up his whole turn, and we stay on tempo. And the fact that we've already done a decent amount of damage to him, double Phoenix Fire lets us play really aggressive and try and close out the game soon. What is this? Maybe another Tide Gaddy? If this thing lives, it's just so much damage. Yeah, it's insane. Silhouette Tracer, okay. I don't hate keeping Spiral Technique here. Spiral Technique does line up pretty badly against Bounded Life Force, which definitely becomes quite a liability. So maybe that's something we consider here. Maybe this is just a bit slow. Okay, that doesn't really help us this turn. So I think we just go for... Well... We don't have lethal, right? So we can put him down to 11, 9, and then this will be at 6. So he's a bit through HP with no more Phoenix Fires in hand. So we might as well do this. It clears the board a little bit more, and gives us the most damage. Well, equal as most damage, not out of hand. So the only way you can really, well, there's still ways you can win if you can remove plus start healing up with Earth Spheres. But I might as well avoid this free damage. The Heartseeker living is probably not going to be that relevant, and I want to avoid as much damage as I can to get it in this, just to avoid the situation where somehow he has a really nice play, like say Mercantil here. Well, actually Mercantil we still win through. Somehow he comes up with a play like Greater Fortitude, Earth Sphere or something, where he can start racing us, and then Bounded Life Force comes out and kills us before we can spiral him. Which so happens a decent amount, honestly. So it's something like that. That's plays that we can lose on. This is almost a bit too slow, even though it kind of fits on curve. Okay. So do we go for... Let's play this, and just see what our options are. Okay. So let's start counting damage. So if we go 11, we can put him at 9. Next turn we have this, that's 5. Well, we're gonna overdraw. So we just Phoenix Fire him in the face. We're pretty healthy. We'll just avoid the damage to make sure. Inner Focus is a lot more valuable with Fox, so we're not going to use it. So I mean, if he has another Earth Sphere here, it's still a very real game. When they draw 2 Earth Spheres, things can get tough, because that Bounded Life Force threat is definitely very scary. So I probably won't be attacking next turn with my General, because that's definitely one of the ways you'll lose the matchup. But he does need Earth Sphere here. I mean, Provoke does help him as well. Well, actually, he's decent ways of surviving here. Silhouette. Okay, he's using it as a body. That definitely tells me he has Bounded Life Force, I think. So we need 1 damage. This can't really ever give us a win. Oh, it can't really. So let's get rid of this. I actually kind of like that Bear Seal draw. Just lets me stall a tiny little bit, and that's all I need, because I have pretty high chance of lethal next turn. Well, let's make sure we're not going to die. So we'll be at 17. Bounded Life Force would do 15, 17. No, because there's only 3 attacks, so that'll be 15. So that's fine, we can't die. Unless it's like Greater Fortitude 4, 13, no, 1 off. So, unless I miscalculated that, we can't actually die. And we would have been 1 off lethal if we went for it this turn, so I'm not going to risk dying. We're in a pretty nice position here. So he needs another Earth Sphere. Anything else we'd pretty much just win. Like, it's still not over. Bounded Life Force is really good in this matchup. So we win. But if he went Battle Life Force and this, then we can just like Phoenix Fire one, clear the other, be it 14 still, and like block him off, and that's it. It would have been definitely awkward, but that's me like playing to the worst things. Because the reason I can play like that is because I was really far ahead. But it is definitely a caution. Like sometimes you can't play too hard into it. You need to. But I mean, if you're that far ahead, you need to kind of think about how to win. Because like it wasn't like I started smoking him or anything. I was always like fully on cards. I could clear the board whenever I wanted to. So if you can evaluate, like just dodge the chances of you dying. Because otherwise, you need to go super hard for board control all the time. Just that burst always gives Magma a bit of a chance, though like it nearly never actually works out against me because I play really carefully around it. But it's always in the back of my mind. I'm like, was this game that close? Maybe, but yeah, it's a bit of a weird spot, and also some people don't run it, so. Mask is awkward in this matchup at times because you want to play it second, but Spiral's definitely going. 2 Bear Seals is actually okay because you got 4 Winds Magi and Bear Seal and Land Fox are must answers. Maybe I get rid of Mask here. It's only really good if he masks himself, so I'm actually going to get rid of it. You could argue at that one, but having Bear Seals is a nice insurance. I think I will get rid of one though. This hand's not very exciting. That's actually quite a nice draw. I think we do just go for it. It's probably a bit too greedy not to. And the heal actually has relevance in this matchup, so. And I mean, it's not like Healing Mystic can kind of convert to damage in this deck, because you really want to be doing damage to the general when you can, and it's a free general hit, so it's, in a way, it's almost like 2 damage at times. And I think it's just way too greedy to be. Like Phoenix Fire, we could Mana Vortex play around Phoenix Fire, but I think that's fine. I may actually end up replacing Mana Vortex here, which kind of sucks, but needs to be done. So we get a nice draw there. So we're going to attack, obviously. There's not much to play around positioning wise. The only thing we want to avoid is situations where he runs away from Fox. So we're going to play the Healing Mystic on the mana tile. And then, I don't know if it matters too much here. I guess we just stop like a little bit of versatility this way. It makes it easier for him to block off. But what is he really blocking off with? If we play it here, he can't block something off diagonally from the Fox and go near the mana tile, which could be relevant. So I'm just going to do it like this. Maybe even here is good. I actually quite like it. So yeah, if he wants to play like a 4 Winds Magi here, it's always going to be exposed in some form, which is definitely the card that would be his mind. I don't give him a chance to. Like Saber Spine Seal and then kill it as well. So he positioned well here. Okay, I'm gonna get rid of this. We're a bit low on cards, and this just does nothing for the card cost. It's probably too greedy to wait. So we're just gonna Bear Seal. Definitely gonna run down attack. Positioning wise, I guess we just go here. So he can't block himself directly off from the Fox. He can run up this way, but then he's still near my general. It's definitely awkward. The Pando does make things a little bit awkward because he's able to avoid free Fox attacks. I don't really see any way I could have avoided that unless I wanted to play Heartseeker here, but that seems kind of bad. 4 Winds Magi. Okay, he can't Mana Vortex Bear Seal, so that's pretty fine by me. Okay, it's just teleporting it away. That's completely fine. So obviously we have a really nice turn here. wonder if we probably just mana vortex. Our hand's not really clunky enough that we need to save it for mana, so just getting that proc is completely fine. Yeah. Maybe we do want to cycle something though. Well, like you can look for like a killing edge for Fox, but I think that's a bit too greedy. So we'll just do this. Well, we might as well play it far away. So we'll do this. I think we're just gonna cycle a mana vortex. Hit him in the face. Maybe we cycle 2 mana vortexes here. I mean, spiral technique. Nah. Let's just refill our hand. It's unlikely that the spells are going to be that clunky next turn. If I had like a really full hand and like Heaven's Eclipse and stuff, I wouldn't be doing that. And if I had that draw, I probably wouldn't be doing it, but I think this is perfectly fine. So if he has like Bear Seal here, you know, focusing. Well, why would he attack there? Like, he knows about the Phoenix Fire in my hand. I don't know, maybe he's giving up. Alright, so those were 3 pretty quick games. But I do have to go soon as well, and that's been about half an hour. So, definitely a decent session. I think most of these games are pretty... There wasn't too much challenge there. I guess we draw decently. Maybe we did get a bit lucky, but I think we played it pretty solidly. I can't think of any massive misplays. Definitely a really, really fun deck, though. Really, really skillful in my opinion. And it's actually quite versatile. You really need to think about how it's... like, especially tournament play is a lot more difficult than other factions. Other factions, it's like, okay, I'm versing a Songhai, let me put in some Zenruis, let me put in some healing. But then you're the Songhai player, and you're like, okay, my opponent's put in Zenruis to counter my best card, and I can't burst them down because they got healing. So you need to actually be the one coming up with these plans. So you need to think, maybe I want Mist Dragons to try and counter Zenrui. Do I want Focuses? Do I want to play more board control, more late game, or do I want to try and burst them down before they can heal? So when you play this in tournaments, you really need to be thinking. Just on ladder play though, get a really solid list, learn the list, and it will reward you. But don't just go Smork, because this deck isn't that good at Smorking unless you're ahead. So definitely recommend trying out the deck, but don't give up if it doesn't go great straight away. You can definitely mess around with this stuff so much, which is what I love about the deck. Any situation I can like change how many spells I want. I can change the card draw. I can go up to 2 Heaven's Eclipse from 1. I can go from 2 Spiral to 1 Spiral. I can change less sisters, more sisters, all these kind of things. So you can tweak it on, you can adapt it to your own meta, which is really, really nice, because a lot of time if you're a lower ranked player, say you're in silver and you want to climb, you may see a deck from a really good player and you might try and play it and it doesn't work, and you're like, well, the deck's meant to be good. Sometimes it's just not suited for your meta. Sometimes the meta is very different at lower ranks. Maybe there's a lot of Swarm Abyssian, so you want your own Ghost Lightnings. So it allows you to play around with your own number of spells, even if you're not the best deck builder in the world. Okay. So anyway, guys, I think I've rambled on for long enough. I hope you enjoyed this Spell High video. If you want to see more, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.